I'm scared.
You should be. Hello, adventurers, and welcome back to the Quiet Kenku for episode 30, a nice round number. Um, and what a session it'll be. The party was previously heading to save members, excuse me, of the Woodland Riverfront Reeds. They found some of them having survived the fire in the previous town of Norfolk, but finding that there would possibly be more and a main base for the opposing group, the Boundless Mossy Wood, in the city of Favia, a city once destroyed but now rebuilt. They took over a manor. You were able to hire some people onto your cause, as well as bring some people closer to you, both from your bastion, from Seth's old monastery, and then also a few members of the Woodland Riverfront Reeds who decided they wanted to help save some of their comrades. Um, the Boundless Mossy Wood being a group of kidnappers and slave traders, you wanted to get people out to save the people there. So you found the manor. You at this point have infiltrated it. And while the rest of your group, or the majority, is clearing the top floor and the bottom floor of the actual house, um, you and then some of your group as well went down into the basement and then the further basement down into what looked to be an abandoned mine shaft slash cavern system. In this area, you had combat with some of the members of this enemy tribe and were able to find a member of the Woodland Riverfront Reeds, along with a couple of people you did not know that seem unassociated with either of these groups, but that were trapped just the same. And so at this point, these people have all been set free, as one of the members grabbed a key off of one of the enemy's bodies and was able to get the cages open. You were also attacked by a rather strange entity, something that seemed to almost leech off the bone and bodies of not only another of the people down there, but also started to on one of you, that being Seth. At this point, you're all down there. In Chiron, you had gone down, but you got back up. You were given a potion, I believe it was, and you were able to get back up. And about that point, from where you're at, sort of off to your left, you can see two other figures approaching. And if I could have, I'll have the both of you describe your characters for me. I'd say we'll start with Xavier, if you could describe your character and what they see as you come down the steps and into the area.
I've you pull up his feet. I've forgotten. It would first just be a lot of red and gold of cloth. You'd probably see this kind of fabric on a higher status, maybe a wizard, but then clank, clank, clank down the stairs. You can very quickly assume and see that he's covered to head to toe in very jagged, spiky armor, with accented with gold and rubies, and definitely someone important, or at least was, wearing what I can possibly only describe as a demon's head from this far away. Horns of pure red on a grey base with bits of gold splattered here and there. And then some very, very ominous green glowing eyes under it.
Thank you. And so you see this person coming down, and with them is another figure, and Karavnos, if you could describe your character.
Uh, in similar contrast to this other figure, there's an elf, clearly a wood elf, though it's a little strange with you know, the dark brown hair and the beard, which is strange for an elf. Brown eyes, kind of bronzier skin. They seem to be wearing some sort of just traveling robes. Clearly, they're just traveling robes, and clearly, what they have alongside them is just a walking stick. You know, drab colors, almost military-like, but yeah, about that. Well belt, and just a little bit of a glint of a chainmail from beneath the robes shining out at points when the light catches it.
All right. And so
Well,
the place down here mainly lit by the firelight from torches. The last thing that all of you, and Chiron, you would be coming up about the time you would just see it as well, but the rest of you very clearly, including those two of you that have just entered. Heading off towards this sort of underground watery river, um, which is off to the one side, there is on the ceiling this strange metal bone flesh creature making its way across the ceiling in that direction very quickly. Um, the flesh sort of sloughing off and falling to the ground as it goes. Uh, at this point, what do you all do?
I would like to vibe check the newcomers. I
Fair.
don't think there are any non-cat members of the Boundless Mossy Wood, but I'm not 100% certain.
Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage because the person who'd gotten you up, a member of the monastery, would also be doing the same. So go ahead and do with advantage.
I already do it with advantage because I'm of my
There you
Pallid
go.
Elf ancestry.
That's true. Well, then never mind. You do it anyway.
That is a 25.
Oh, Jesus.
Would either of you coming down be attempting to act in any certain way, or would you just be going down and seeing what's up?
If it's possible to see a facial expression under a helmet, you'd probably see and assume mortified at the thing on the ceiling.
Okay. Body language could probably tell that, yeah.
Very tense, as if they're like, I suppose closest analogy that I can't think of right now, just like SWAT team breaching a building, looking through, ready for action, ready for something.
mhm.
Hello there. Are you friends or foes?
Are
To
you
be
against
clear,
the?
we're still like seeming. So I'm currently a Tabaxi version of myself.
Let me actually check
And
something here. A note for you,
seeming
I
this for 8
believe
hours.
8 hours. I do believe I mentioned during the side thing that that had dropped before they
Okay.
came down. So at this point, that would be dropped. So you would look like yourself.
Okay, so I'm just myself.
Mhm.
And I'm going to turn to, now that the creature is running away, I'm going to turn to Leaps Over Clouds, I believe it was. And is there any play? Oh, where is everyone else? Is there anyone else?
Kind of at this point getting out of the cage, which was very cramped, and honestly, having stood in it for a while, kind of just sitting on the ground, looks at you and says, Yes, I saw a lot of them being taken that way," and points in the direction the thing had went.
Ugh.
Uh, well, I suppose we should follow that way. We need the people.
Did we establish that we're not here to kill each other?
I
Uh,
vibe checked it. I'm acting
Yeah,
like I know that.
We've established that we have the same common enemy.
All
that
right,
is about it so far.
all right.
um, Leaps Over Clouds is going to kind of look towards I'll say look over towards Sapling and say, "It's good to see you again."
Yeah, you too.
You're able to find anyone else, you could always send them back here. I can wait for them.
Thank you. Our people will. We can leave some people here to protect it, and I think we can probably leave Spear and Thrill, and we can leave maybe Spear and Thrill and one of the monks here to.
Putting all my cats in one basket.
Yeah. Okay, leaving Spear and Thrill. So in that case, and then you said one of the monks?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would leave you with,
Probably the one that starts with an S, the one that's not Can.
yeah, Saren, the asshole. Saren, let's see, I'm going through the list here. There'd be the other mage, and then the main
We have two
Glassjaw.
mages. We have main Glassjaw, and we have Seedling coming with us. As
Seedling would also be going with you.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, cool. Just trying to keep track of who's going with. So in that case, you kind of gather the people together. Is that sound like an okay plan for everybody, leaving those few behind? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So in that case, everyone kind of gathers together. Now, a note, once you get over toward the area, the side of the room that has the little river, you can see that it goes forward and then kind of turns a corner, so you can't quite see what's past it. It is not very deep water. You could walk through it, or you can also see that there is a raft. It is not quite a boat, but more of a raft. It could only fit a few of you, however. It could fit probably, and I'm counting Sapling as one of those people, going with the idea. If Sapling was one of those people being a little larger, you could probably fit 6. If Sapling was not, and Sapling was to walk in the water, you could probably fit 7. It would be a very tight fit, however.
I'm very tall and very big, and I don't need it. I'm okay.
I'm not scared of no water.
You are
I prefer not to be in water with what I can do.
I have
Eh.
gloves.
Yeah.
You're so heavy.
I have gloves.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
How tall
because
is the
I'm
water again?
heavy.
It is
Sorry.
probably, I say it's not very tall. I would say it's probably about knee height on an average height person. So,
okay.
so it would be considered difficult terrain to walk through it, is the best way to put it.
Sapling, could you maybe... He's just glancing at the water and then back to Sapling.
He's just gonna, like, just reach out a hand to grab him and pull him out.
He climbs up.
You get a horseback ride. Yay.
Whoa. We can
Yay.
literally share the same space. This is fine.
Watching this half person, half horse, and strange fish thing together.
Yeah, what? What is that? Because if he just looks at his veteran friend, then at that, it's
Kind of confused look, but just don't question it.
Funny. Okay. Well,
They're colleagues. We can introduce ourselves once once everyone is safe.
all right. Sorry, I just read what was put in no mic, and that's funny to me. Because I know what that's from. Okay. So all of you either gather in the water or on the raft. So I know Sapling and Xavier, you're going to be in the water, correct? And was there anyone else?
I'll be on the raft.
Be on the
I'll
raft.
also be on the raft.
So basically everyone else will be on the
Seth will
raft.
be on the horse.
Seth will be on the horse. Okay. Okay, cool.
Then mages 1 and 2, and our Glassjaw friend and Kian will be on the raft with me and the guy.
Okay.
Oh, I'm right
Me
back
and
there.
me and White Jesus over here.
Yes. Okay. Well, you begin to make your way through the water then. At this point, you continue kind of kicking your way off the way. That does have like an oar or two on the raft to move you. It's sort of one on each side sort of deal. And rock walls on either side. A pretty close ceiling, all in all. If Sapling would be standing on the raft, your head would probably be like maybe a couple inches from the top of the ceiling here. So it's fairly tight. You begin to make your way, and it honestly doesn't go on that far. However, those of you in the water do notice the little bit of drag. So if you were to need to escape quickly, that could be a problem, unless you had a way to get over quickly. Yeah. But yeah, the actual water, the drag, it could be a bit difficult, could be a bit annoying. With that being said, you make your way across, and you do not see the creature again until you reach the other side. You find a large platform, it kind of opens up, and before you is a large, kind of ancient looking structure. Looks like it's been here for a little while. This structure is much taller as the ceiling gets higher. There are pillars on either side, and there's a central door, which is closed. However, you can see that there are 3 plaques, each with an inscription. These 3 plaques seem to indicate something. You'll have to actually investigate to see what it says. But the door is closed. What do you want to do at this point? You can
Symbols.
symbols. I will note one more
There's
detail, sorry, because this might be important. You note that there are shards of bone and flesh outside of this door leading up to it. You get the idea the creature did go through.
Oh yeah.
So,
All right, what kind of symbols are we looking at here? I'd like to inspect them, and before I do that, I'd like to... Actually, where are they? Like, can I...
Mhm.
You
They're-
probably know where I'm going with this. Can I touch them?
You can't quite touch the third one because the door is decently tall, and one of the sets of symbols of writing, you can tell now that you're closer, is above the door. There are 3 sets. There's one on the left side, one on the right, and one above the door. They are not in common. If somebody would like to make an investigation check, you could see what language it might be in.
I can, considering.
Or a certain worm could.
Or a certain word, yeah, a certain
No,
word.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. But I realized I don't have to touch the words. I have to touch the surface on which the words are written, which I probably can do. So I would love to investigate as I comprehend this language.
Literally anywhere on the wall. Yeah, you can do that. You just walk up to the wall and touch, and
Well,
it's I would say that's good enough. They're carved into the wall in a way, like it's sort of a raised plaque out of it. It's close enough.
I'm gonna start
Comprehending
ritual
languages.
casting detect magic around this area.
Okay, so
I
that'll
can
take.
hold up a detect magic for the next 10 minutes.
Okay, so that'll take what, like 10 minutes and 6 seconds or something like that. So okay.
Oh, you're on.
I will let you know when that pops up.
Okay.
So you begin doing that, and with the comprehend languages. Ahem. The first one. Does comprehend languages tell you what language it would be in? Because if so, I'll tell you what that is too.
I don't
I'm
actually
checking.
think it does. Let me look.
Yeah, I'm double checking myself as well. Because if it does, then I'll tell you what language. If it does not, then you don't get to know. Haha.
It doesn't say that it does.
Page of text. Okay. Then I would say that you don't know the language, but you can read it. And what it says is this. We'll start with the first one. And I can repeat it if you need me to. But we'll start with the first one. Let's see. I am no artist's model, and yet you have to draw me. I'm truly awful solo. I need a partner solely. I like violence, or is it violins? Depends on where you saw me.
Can you just like write that down somewhere?
Wait. I
I
If one of-
for that.
I was trying.
If one of you would
I
like
was
to write it down,
trying,
I can read again.
Yeah, just a bit more slowly. I got most of it.
Of course. If I'm going too quickly, still let me know. I am no artist's model, and yet you have to draw me. I'm truly awful solo. I need a partner sorely. I like violence, or is it violins? And there's a question mark at the end of that. Depends on where you saw me. We could go to the next. I could read it again, or you could give an answer if you have any.
I might, but I don't know if he
I'm
read it out
honestly just
loud.
trying to think of.
Oh,
I'm
I know
honestly
what
just
it
trying to
is.
think of if Yeah, I'm just trying to think of if my my stupid little worm is smart enough. But I'll
Do we?
say I did read it out loud.
Okay.
Oh, well, I can't fucking say shit.
Um,
I do have a guess though.
yeah. I was going to say, even if you don't think your character would necessarily, if you have a guess, this is a group project.
I have a guess.
I do.
You
Whoever.
first.
Oh, Xavier will do the emotion of drawing a bow back.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm gonna roll something, and if I roll above a 10, I'm gonna say that he's smart enough. I rolled a natural 20. There's some
Yes.
weird sigils on the wall about or hinting about a bow.
Okay.
So.
Does the group agree that that is the answer? It seems a few people,
Yeah.
yes, so far.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, the sigils begin to glow, and you hear a click. Correct.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Now.
I also,
Hmm.
after that, I would like to. I don't know how ritual casting works again. But I'd like to, if I can, ritual cast a prayer of healing.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can. It does, just so you know, it takes 10 minutes plus the casting of the spell, the time it takes. So,
Okay, it's gonna take
yeah.
about 20 minutes.
Oh, is it 10 minutes to cast that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then 20 minutes it is. You are welcome to take that long, though, if you wish. I'll
I'll
go
stick
with...
my sword in the ground and start ominously whispering. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, it's fine. Okay, let's
It's
see
okay. We can't make
here.
out what you're saying anyway.
Bitch. You
Welcome back, Cody.
can...
That spell is not a ritual spell.
Is that not a ritual spell?
Oh heck.
No.
That sucks.
Are we not doing the thing where you can ritual cast? Sorry.
No, no. I would say, like, wizards, I would be a little more lenient, like straight wizards and nothing else. But for everything else, yeah, it's
Okay.
gotta be a ritual spell.
Well, I'll
You can
still
still
cast it.
Start casting
Yeah, I'll still
anyway.
cast it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that'll take its normal casting time. Let's see. I'm trying to find another good one here. I have a whole book of these. So the second one. Okay. I like this. So the second one, this will be the one on the, we'll say that was on the left side of the door. This will be on the right. So reading this out, again, reading out loud, I assume. And I'll read slowly. I can soar through the air with ease, but I'm not something you'll want to seize. My namesakes are scattered across the sky. If I catch your eye, it's lights out. Goodbye. And
Huh.
for this one, as this one is read out, on the wall, sort of the rocky walls to your left and right, a couple pieces of stone recede. And you see, facing you, are sort of crossbows embedded in the walls. There are higher stakes to getting this one wrong.
Was the last part of that first part, I'm not something you'll want to cease?
Oh,
Seize,
seize.
like grab.
Seize.
Seize.
Ah,
Oh, seize. Okay.
Yeah. This one's a little trickier. A little obscure. But if you are stumped, I can have one of you make an intelligence check to see if you can get it, get a hint. But I get to pick
Ooh,
who that
that's
makes that
nice.
check.
okay.
Let me go ahead. I'm pretty sure I got this, so I'm gonna put it in no mic.
Oh,
Might be slightly. I mean, the I'm pretty sure I wrote it down correctly.
yeah,
Might be
no,
slightly paraphrased.
that is correct.
Okay, but let's use the power of our brains.
Power of your brains.
Friendship. Our friendship.
Oh.
And again, I am happy to give hints.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I do too, but I'm not confident on that one.
It could perhaps be like a throwing star.
Here's what I will say about how this works, by the way. You can talk amongst yourselves fine. But when you lock in an answer, when you're like, yes, that is the answer we agree on, that is when the risk begins and you could get shot.
The more I think about it, the more my guess could make sense to this, but
What do
I've
you
never
think?
been good with riddles. I'm thinking lightning.
Okay. So we had two guesses: lightning, throwing star.
I'm
Any other
gonna
thoughts?
take the liberty of pretending, with the information that you just told us, that Chiron said his thought out loud.
Again,
and
I cannot.
this is I'm saying
Yeah.
players can discuss amongst themselves, but
Yeah,
once you say
exactly.
like in character, we're saying this. One of you's like goes
Yeah.
forward and says this is the answer. That's
But
the yeah.
we're allowed to speak to each other in game and just be like, maybe
Yeah.
it's this.
Yeah, sure. I'd say so.
So,
As long as you don't say this is the answer.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
take the liberty of thinking that Chiron said, well, it could be a throwing star.
Okay.
And I'm going to rebuttal that with, well, it says namesakes. There are plenty of stars in the sky, but that's just one name. There aren't really a lot of throwings in the sky.
Well,
Although there are a lot of stars. This whole thing is stupid, so it could be that stupid.
You just hear Xavier cackling.
I can't really think of anything else it could be other than throwing star.
Hmm. Oof.
Do you want to try it?
It doesn't sound like everyone agrees.
But if no one else has an idea, I mean, if somebody else has an idea that the majority, we will go majority agree with. What do we think?
Can I cast
use
while
the-
moving, like doing other things?
Not well, that's not a ritual.
Other somatic components.
Yeah, are there? What are the components?
Pretty thing. I'm blind. Where did you go? I put my prayer of healing down and it fucking evaporated.
Prayer of Healing's just a verbal spell.
Yeah,
Is it?
he's
Yeah. Oh, sure.
whispering
Yeah.
to himself. Oh, okay. Then he'll These are new people. He doesn't want to undermine them or anything, and he's not confident in his own intelligence. But he'll with how do I do it? He'll take a bit of fleece, and if Val would allow it, he'll cast minor illusion, or
Sure. Yeah, you could cast minor illusion.
he'll just like click his hand, and above him is a minor illusion, a bit like a tablet of a cloud with a lightning bolt coming down.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that is you making your guess to
Lightning.
the door? Oh.
Vaguely to the people, but if the door wants to take it, I guess.
You tell me.
Lightning, you think?
Lightning.
Gotta meet the
Mm.
qualifiers. Can soar through the air with ease.
I don't.
Do you
That's-
die if lightning catches your eye?
I.
You can look
Mhm.
at it, right?
Well,
don't
if the lightning
think
catches
that
your eye,
lightning
Could
is
be a
named
bit-
after anything.
Is lightning what you meant? Hmm.
I don't think lightning is named after anything.
We can always just go ahead and sacrifice a random person to make an intelligence check.
Hmm,
Good. You want to?
Because it seems like we're all a bit clueless on this one.
I have one clue,
All-
but I'd rather everyone agree.
Do we want to make
I
a
mean,
guess
it
or
could
get a
be
hint?
that. It could be that. If we do
Okay.
this, we
Let's
could
not get
get
shot at.
towards. Yeah.
I don't want to get shot at.
All in favor of sacrificing someone to the intelligence roll.
I'm all for
say aye.
sacrificing you to the crossbow bolts. You're full color.
Bruh.
I'm okay with trying for a hint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seth.
I
Fuck.
figured it was gonna be him, but I had hoped. There was no hope.
Yeah.
Of course, she'd choose the idiot.
You know.
Do you also have a negative
There are
one to
two
intelligence?
idiots.
What
You
am
got
I
this.
doing?
An intelligence check.
Okay.
Is
Yep.
this straight? Or
This is a straight intelligence check.
dang, I can't help. Okay.
Fucking dead.
Come on, don't tell me it was terrible. You know this. You know
It's
the
Seth,
answer.
Of course it is.
You know, I think Seth's mutations are really showing through in my rolls as of late. That's a natural 1 minus 1.
Oh no!
God.
0.
It's a 0!
A 0. Well, with
Seth
a 0,
absorbs into his own brain.
you
Yeah,
know,
maybe
that's suggesting
simulating of washing with power.
that suggestion of lightning sounds really good. You're pretty confident of that.
Oh, He's also near water.
Yeah.
Fuck. Terrible. Terrible.
Is there no way to
fucking
avoid the
him.
bolts?
You don't know yet. You haven't tried.
I'm scared.
There's
I'm scared.
there
So,
isn't room to just like stand under them.
maybe. So,
I think we should try that idea.
If you insist,
The lightning?
I mean, I didn't
I
hear
mean-
any other ideas.
Does mean
There was the idea of throwing stars.
I didn't hear that.
that tracks.
I think we should get your ears checked once we get back.
see throwing stars.
You're
should be
concerned about that,
nothing.
but not the fact I'm blind.
There are a lot
Xavier
of
just
things
turns
about
his
it to
head
be
to stare at
concerned
him.
about.
Yes,
It's not like-
there's a lot to be concerned about.
Yeah, Xavier
You know
like
what?
doesn't
This is
turn with
important.
his
Everyone
arms.
shut up. Should we try lightning?
Do it.
If Seth thinks it's a good idea, I suppose.
The answer is lightning.
The symbols begin to glow slightly before going dark again, and out of the crossbow in the wall shoots out a bolt of lightning from both. I need... Sapling, you were the one who guessed. I need you to make a dex save.
Hey, I'm. Never mind. I'm not anything. Oh! Oh! That's gonna be a solid 5.
And that's going to be a solid...
Oh,
You're really lucky. Only 8 lightning damage.
lightning
Could have been a little
damage,
worse.
Okay.
Okay. As out of the crossbow shoots bolts of lightning that seek you out.
Owie.
That was not the correct answer. But a good guess, and I can see how you got there. However, not quite the answer. Does anyone else have a guess?
We can try my guess now. I will say it just in case. The answer is a throwing star.
The symbols begin to glow, and there's a click. That was the correct answer.
They hated my bestie because he told the truth.
I was sitting here the whole time like, holy shit, you guys are literally like, no, that's probably not. I didn't even hear that. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, guys, that was it.
I overthunked it.
Yeah, I did too.
Sometimes that was a little hard
Assuming-
one, though. That was a hard one.
So
I just
specific.
didn't think you could immediately die to a ninja star.
Well, it's lights out. You're not
If it hits
seeing
you,
again.
Well,
if it hits you in the
Well,
eye and it goes
if
deep
it
enough,
hits you in the eye.
yeah.
But I was thinking like whole body. Like if it hits you, like you're not gonna die. Well, maybe if you were a peasant in a very long time ago.
Well, yes. Okay.
Maybe if you had an NPC stat block.
Mechanically, it does D something more than D.
I mean, if you're a squirrel.
Fuck those squirrels.
Anyway, moving on with our lives.
Are we ready for the last one?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I aim to flatten out the round and reveal the nature of the ground. Should you lose your way, or worse, it's likely that you lost me first.
I have an idea, but I don't want to just say all the things immediately. So I'll
Callie,
wait.
Callie, my dear friend, you have a higher IQ than all of us put together.
Yes, but if anybody else has any any guesses, I won't say my guess first.
Humble.
So, any ideas before the the guess?
My idea was spoken, but not very loudly.
Oh,
I
I
did
did
not
not
hear.
hear.
I need to stop. I need to stop. I keep thinking too hard. I'm like, but wait, but with the worm, no, but
Don't
it
think
doesn't
that hard.
matter. This one might be about a compass.
Ah, my thought was that it could be a map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! those, are,
Yeah.
those are like the same.
Yes, but a map is the paper is flat.
Mm-hmm. It's flat.
It flattens the world, which is
Yes.
That's
round,
probably right.
debatably, because this is
Actually.
gold.
It'd be like playing
Actually,
Guess Who and you have two characters left who are exactly the fucking same. But I do think a map is probably.
are we thinking map? Is that the consensus?
Mm-hmm.
Is
I
that the
fuck
guess
with
you make?
map.
Who guesses?
Sure, yeah.
I'm not scared. Well, no, actually, no, I'm not.
Who's
Pain
gonna
isn't
do it?
real, but my family is. I can guess.
Yeah. Oh, sapling. Okay. So you walk up to it, and what do you say?
The answer is a map.
The symbols begin to glow, and then all three of them begin to glow very brightly. And there's a pause for a moment as you start to hear this sound of something grinding. And then there's a click, and the door opens. A map was correct, because it does. It flattens out the round.
You right,
Good,
you
good.
right.
Okay.
How much time left do I have to finish ritual casting detect magic?
I would say both of the spells that were being cast during that have finished about now, because it has been about long enough.
Alright, come here, yo.
Oh,
I need to
great.
roll some people.
Yeah, do the healing, then we'll continue.
I
It's
do
5
the
people, so
party.
everyone does it.
Well, yeah, I can choose one more
Yay.
person who looks like they're about to keel over and die.
Not counting
Other than
party. I know.
Eva.
I was gonna say I know Kian took a couple hits, so he could take some.
Okay. Kian. I got a math. Hang on, I got a math pretty hard. I didn't roll beforehand.
That's okay.
How do I see my spell casting? Ah, there it is. So that everyone gets like. Doing that right. It's like 21 health.
Oh.
Damn.
I love you.
Yeah, I got it. I said yeah. Everyone including me.
Yeah.
Yay.
Needed.
Now
I'm back at Mac.
I'm at the full health.
I am too.
Let me out. I could take on anything.
Of course.
Now don't you now you don't have to worry about me because I healed your old sickly asses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Xavier
You're
tilt his head,
strengthened.
staring at you. In Chiron.
Yes.
Who wave, and then do a few hand gestures that I don't think you quite understand.
Okay.
No one speaks CSL.
Sadly.
Why?
There's
Not
just a
yet.
grumble of.
I will, I suppose, if the door's unlocked, let's go. I will go first, tentatively, because I have detect magic up for the next 10 minutes.
I'm sticking so close to Peepaw.
Teapot, what is
Ah, so you're getting
Oh.
down.
I'll flank his other side.
Yeah,
on the other
I
side.
mean,
he'll
yeah, I
get
was
down
gonna
off the side.
follow.
Like breaching action.
I'll follow the younger Peepaw because he's familiar.
I was gonna say I'd probably have to let you down, but then I remembered you're a monk. You probably have strong kneecaps, strong ankles. You can just hop down.
Dude could probably just hang off you and be fine, but no, he can just jump off. He's fine.
Mm.
Who needs let down when you can just jump? It's
See you
fine.
later. Whee!
And I will
Stronghold's
That
got
thing's
also,
not that tall.
Not gonna get bucked off.
enlarged. I wonder what had happened if you put
I'm
sapling in a
checking
small
for
enclosed
magical
space and then
traps.
enlarged
Is
him.
anybody here checking for physical traps?
Does
Uh-oh.
anyone want to roll an investigation check? I can also tell you what you see in the room. Because it is a room.
Help. Oh, help, Kelly.
Okay. Then make
I
me an
suppose I shall.
investigation check. And same thing on Peepaw over there. I want you to make an investigation. Now, I'll tell you what you see with the detect magic, but this will kind of aid you in that in a way.
Okay. My investigation is a solid 13.
13. Okay. And then for Xavier, what'd you get?
I was helping.
I don't
Oh,
need
you're
the
doing a
help.
help
I have
action?
advantage
Okay.
already.
Or do you
Oh,
want to do
well, you said investigation.
Yep.
There is no possible way that he is focused at all on the ground because that is a 5.
All right.
Oh no.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
I'm
They were
so itchy.
puzzles and now you're focused on other things. Okay. And then you said 13 in Chiron?
Mhm.
Okay. So here's the deal. You make your way into this room, and here is just the general layout and what all of you see, and then I'll get into the specific of what you see. So as soon as the door opens, it opens up into a larger room on the outside, or on the inside. What you see is a brazier in the middle, unlit. It is an unlit brazier. Bronze in color that does ping as magical. And of course, in Chiron, if I reference magic, you are the only one that notices this, but everything else, you all of you know. So that it does ping as magical. There is also the body of a tabaxi. Now, Sapling, that does not look like a member of your group. It actually bears some of the symbology of the boundless mossy wood, so it is one of their members. There's a small table next to the brazier and a couple chairs. It almost looks like maybe they were sitting there, them and a few others. But this one tabaxi is lying backwards, clutching at their chest, with an envelope that pings as slightly magical, or at least something inside does. It's a thick envelope, as if there's something bulky inside, and they're clutching it to their chest. The body gives off faint necromantic energy as well. But as far as anything else, the only other thing in the room is a door on the opposite side.
Does the envelope, what family of magic does that magic ping as?
I believe I would mark that as enchantment.
I'm not scared. I'm gonna go pick it up.
Okay.
With faint necromantic.
Okay. So probably not a glyph of warding. That's good.
Probably not.
I'll pick it up.
You'll pick it up? Okay.
I'll pick it up with my bad hand.
Okay. You pick it up. It is wrapped in twine to keep it closed. Now, as you pull it away, this hand clutching it to their chest, the face a face of terror, potentially. The hand, despite the body not moving and seeming dead, seems to hold it tightly. And those of you that are a little higher in terms of perception, I would say maybe 15 or higher, which I think is most of you, you notice the body faintly twitching. though it shows no other signs of life. But, Xavier, do you open the envelope?
I'll look at the others, and if no one's expecting mail, I'll unravel it.
Okay. So you begin to undo the twine. It does not explode. What it does, however, is inside you see two things. You see there is a... Actually, I'm trying to get the page here. There is a deck of cards, a standard deck of cards, as far as you can tell. Now, it is enclosed in a box, so to double check all of that and see if there's all the cards there, you'd have to do a separate investigation check. However, from the outside, it appears unopened, like a fresh pack of cards. There is also a small letter that is folded. Yeah.
I'll hold it away from me a little bit and I'll hold it.
It explodes. No, I'm kidding. It does not explode. No. It does have... I know. It has another riddle.
Oh no.
I mean, I'll read it, but I can't say shit. So I'll just
Correct.
wander over to Enkyra and be like,
Well, thank you. I will take. Is it the note that's pinging as magical or the cards?
It is the cards.
Don't do anything with those cards until I read this. I'm going to pick it up and read this riddle.
he will
Okay.
abide and just look at the cards.
Okay. Still keeping them in the package?
Yes. As much
Okay.
as I want to.
Just confirming. Okay. So, the note says, and I'm assuming you read this out loud?
Yes.
Okay. Our small feline friends, their wit most distinguished, pushed to great ends, their chances extinguished. And if you need me to read that again, I can.
Did you just give us a gambling riddle?
I'm not going to tell you anything, but would you like me to read it again?
Yeah.
One more time. Our small feline friends, their wit most distinguished, pushed to great ends, their chances extinguished. And then I'll confirm if what you send is correct. Yes, that is correct.
Hmm.
And again, the brazier in the middle, the table, the body that is slightly twitching, a chair.
I can't see that, by the way.
No, you're the you cannot. There is the deck of cards, the note, the letter, the envelope, which is leather, by the way, that it comes in. One other detail for you. The body is charred. Not like burnt to a crisp, but like it was at one point on fire.
I'm hungry.
Jeez.
Can I ask something not entirely related?
You can all ask any questions you'd like.
Yay! I kind of immediately jumped the gun earlier, but I thought that I probably should ask. The other things that I comprehended, obviously they were in common. Were they in Sylvan or Deep Speech?
No,
Yeah,
they
I
were
was
not.
curious.
Okay, so I didn't waste it.
Could anyone, did anyone? Could
I
anyone
didn't
read
try
it?
to.
I guess I
My
should.
languages
didn't
are
get-
English, Common, Elven, and Dwarvish. If any of those
I
were
have
it.
It's not.
Infernal as well.
Does anyone have
Common,
primordial?
Dwarvish, Elvish, Sylvan. Damn it!
What?
What'd you say, Wes?
Primordial.
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 No.
One time
That
I
was
don't
last
take it out.
character.
Yeah, this
Lucia.
yeah, this letter is simply in common, but all of the plaques were in primordial. I'll tell you that because we're already past it.
Because it's fun.
Yeah. But that is the riddle that is written on this letter. Again, if you have any questions about the room, about other details that you may have missed upon first inspection, anything else, if you want to do anything, you can. You
I
have
would
not looked
like
at the
to
cards
inspect
yet.
the cards.
You want to inspect the cards.
I
Here's what
have a
happens.
playing in my. Oh no.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was gonna say I have a playing set in my backpack. Maybe I could compare them.
Oh, maybe.
Never mind.
I have
I'm
some
sorry.
cards. It's
Oh,
they're
Val.
they are. I will say that they are not this big. This is just for your viewing pleasure. So,
Yay.
before you have a deck of cards. As you flip through, they are sorted, and there is not a single card out of place. You have to start the King of Diamonds, the Queen of Diamonds, and then in the back, the very last two are two jokers. Something you note immediately is that all of the cards, every single one, has a cat instead of a person if it is a face card. And even the non-face cards have cats on them. They're adorable. The jokers,
Cat is in Tabaxi or cat is in cat?
as in cat,
Oh.
and the
If
jokers.
they don't kill me, I want to keep these.
We'll see. Hold on. The jokers, there are two of them. They have dogs on them. The rest have cats. Every single card is there, none of them out of place, and all of them perfectly sorted in order. Diamonds to spades, and then hearts and clubs, in that order. As you stand there, they magically fly out of the box into the air,
Okay.
and they spread themselves on the ground. And before you, they start very quickly shuffling themselves around into a different order, but before combining back into one stack, completely randomized. And as you look before you, the order has completely changed. And so, not a single card where it once was. At this point, the deck.
Sorry, Chiron. I didn't know expecting them would cause this happen.
The deck is perfectly in order, other than being now completely randomly shuffled. Is there anything any of you do at this point, as nothing further happens?
And Chiron read the letter out loud, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And again, hints are allowed, and so far, you haven't seen any indication of threat or wrong guesses. In fact, this is not a... I will give you all one hint here. This is a puzzle where you must do something, not where there is a word answer. That is what I will give you here.
What's that game called? You got 4 stacks, so you try and get a king down to space, to a spade, in order.
Solitaire.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to sit down and play a round of solitaire?
Yeah, I'm gonna clear the table with like my arm and just like sit down, place the deck down, and start playing.
Hold on. I need to check something.
Seth's
I know how to
gonna
play
totally
solitaire.
Walk over. Oh my god. Seth's gonna walk over and kind of look at them. That's a 2, right?
What
Is he
card are you
pointing at a
pointing
2?
I don't know. Is he pointing at a 2? Let's see. What is
Let's
this?
Oh,
find out
no.
together.
roll
13.
a-
There are 13.
Just roll a d12. It's close enough.
12? Okay, give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me find one. Where are my 12s? Hold on. Are you a 12? Yeah, that's a 12. 4.
No.
You're putting at 3.
Xavier will look at you after you
No.
ask him,
It's not.
and he'll take your
Okay.
hand if you let him, and just put your thumb down and hold up 4 fingers, your own 4 fingers to you.
He like sits there for a second. Ooh. Oh. Ow. Fuck.
Death in frustration hits the table.
We can work on your numbers next.
A note for you. I did look it up, and I used to play solitaire a lot, but I didn't remember how long a game could take. According to online, it could be 3 to 8 minutes, roughly. So, unless anyone stops you, for the next 3 to 8 minutes, you play a round of solitaire with these cards. Now, we will say, does anyone interrupt this? Is the first question. Things can happen
Probably.
during, but I want to know if anyone interrupts it.
Purposefully, no.
I'm just going to look at the cards. Small feline friend seems to refer to these face cards. Well, he's moving them around. Not often, because face cards are really hard to move in solitaire.
Correct. Another detail, it is also just a reference. There are cats on all of the cards, not just the face cards.
Oh, okay.
That, just to clarify.
Well,
All but the jokers. So,
What kind of dogs are they?
I will say because it's a red and black Joker, I'll say the black Joker is kind of German Shepherd adjacent, where the red is a Golden Retriever.
Ah, Sock, what the fuck are you doing in there?
It is magical.
No!
Okay.
Release my dog!
So, a note for you. As you are playing solitaire, you start to get them in order. Again, basically, because that's, how solitaire would work. Eventually, they would end up sort of back in order. They reshuffle themselves on the table.
I am gonna try. Don't think I've done this today. I'm gonna use identify with my goggles on the cards.
Let me check something. Let me check a thing here. That's tricky. I need to check a thing here because that is actually a really tricky thing, because this is not... You get the idea immediately. This is not inherently just a magic item. It is a magic deck of cards, but it is not considered a magic item. In terms of, I could look at it and go this. So I'll say... I'm reading it here. It's okay, it's a magic imbued object. Learn the properties and how to use them. I will give you something, but I'm not just going to straight up give you the answer.
Yeah.
What I will say is this. Something must be done with these cards. You know that. And if done correctly, it would open the door. Now, that you already could kind of discern. What I would say... You get the idea it has something inherently to do with the idea of cats. Cats is the key. There's sadly not much more I could give you without just giving the answer.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Oh, yes, yes, young man. What is the idea?
My brother in Christ, he can't speak. I mean, I guess he'll put a finger, an idea. And then, if the cards will let him, he'll find one of the jokers.
Okay. We'll say
And,
you find the Golden Retriever first.
Stop doing this to me. But he'll take one of the cats, and he'll flip the card over so the dog is facing the cat, and then put it on top.
Interesting. Interesting idea. Nothing seems to happen, though. But that is a very interesting idea. However, I'll give you this. it appears the cards become a little animated on their cover, and the dog kind of starts to snarl a little bit, and the cat kind of starts to rear up, but that's about all that happens.
Oh, cool. But not right.
It feels as if the wording on the note, it seems as if we're supposed to put some of the cards, I'm not sure which, into this brazier.
Mm. He'll walk over and take
Don't just.
he's holding like the ace of like hearts over this thing, the poor little kitty.
So, like, Connor has an idea, but Seth wouldn't be able to give this idea because he
Tabletop.
can't.
Do it.
He cannot count that high. The nines. Cats have 9 lives, right?
Very interesting.
Like, I'm not for sure on it, obviously, but like, it's a thought.
It's a good idea, and I would love to run with it, but I don't have the intelligence to be like, oh.
You see, if this were any other character, I don't care what kind of intelligence my character would have. I feel like it's possible for someone to come up with that. Seth just literally cannot count that high and doesn't know that number.
Can I make an argument?
No, but does he know the fact?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just also counter argument. Does he know the fact that cats have like this number of lives?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
Well, I was going to say
It
that
is
is
about that number.
it is a pretty common enough saying. Even if you don't know what 9 is, you would have heard at least the word 9 and could be like, oh, cats have 9 lives. That's a saying.
With your, maybe even with your monastery training, depends.
Way of the cat.
I mean, he
Yeah.
sure he'll bring it up. I'm not saying it in his voice, but he'll bring it up.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm just trying to puzzle out the meaning of their wit most distinguished. Seems.
Xavier will draw a thumb across his neck. You know, for death.
And as a reminder, the brazier is unlit, so you would have to find a way to light it. But there are plenty of torches around the room.
You don't need torches when I could just shoot.
Or magic, I
Well.
mean, that works.
Hard to tell if the middle part actually matters or if it's just for the sake of rhyming, because for some reason rhyming is so important.
I mean, Xavier will sift through, find the 9, 4 of the 4 9s, and place them in.
Okay. Has the brazier been lit when you do this?
I mean, I'll like point down at it with my fingertip on fire, ready to shoot fireball. Waiting for anyone to say anything.
Don't see what not.
Nobody objects, so do you do so?
I don't want to handle with getting shocked like sapling, so I'm going to go as far back as my spell will allow me, which is pretty much probably the entire room, and then shoot the brazier.
Okay. So you go way the hell back there, and then you aim,
Yep.
kind of cover it, and you shoot the brazier. And with your 4 9s, a second goes by as the fire begins to lick at the cards, and they're slightly Don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, brain fart. But the fire begins to lick at them, and there's this tense moment where you're just waiting. And it's nerve-wracking, a little scary. I'm looking for something right now. I'm sorry. What the fuck are you?
We're all on edge.
Put my answer down and fucking evaporated.
Okay, fuck it. Fuck it. I can only find 3 of them. Pretend there's a 4th. And the 4 nines, all of a sudden, they fly out and land in randomized places within the deck. That was not correct. Although a good idea. The 4 nines is not the correct answer.
Fuck.
However, I can give someone a hint if they want to roll for it.
Are you gonna choose Seth again?
No, it's never the same person.
Okay.
Yeah, let's have someone roll
Yeah.
for hint.
Mother.
Does anyone volunteer as tribute?
I would if I weren't stupid.
That's okay.
I'm
Hey,
gonna-
Xavier. I was thinking of choosing you anyway. All right, all right, fireman, come on.
have a negative.
Yeah, that's good. You can do it.
Hello?
Yeah. Roll intelligence,
I
just
was
a
raptured.
flat intelligence
I
check.
died. Oh, me. Okay, rolling. Okay.
Yes.
Flat intelligence. That's 15. I have no modifier.
15. That's enough. You're on the right track with the idea of 9 lives, but you did it in the wrong way. That is all I can tell you. For that hint, anyway.
I'm gonna go with my original idea, without the
Okay.
9 lives, and I'm gonna take the aces.
Okay, you put the aces in there?
Mhm.
Okay. Make a deck save.
Ah, fuck. Man. Where's my modifier? Save? Oh yeah, and this is 19.
19? You take half damage.
Add.
Let me add up the total here, and then I will tell you what happens. You take 9. That is already halved.
Mhm.
9 points of... That is funny that it actually, that it was 9 halved. Because it was 19 total divided by 2, rounding down. So 9 points of slashing damage as the 4 cards you put in there, one by one, whoosh, 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 fly in your direction, slice you, and then back in the deck.
If he could, you just actually, he will. You just see him minor illusion cats going around his head, like
Love
the
that.
birds.
Cuckoo.
What if we simply draw 9 cards to put in? They
He'll hand protect to you, old man.
don't seem to. They seem to enjoy being in a random order, so maybe we don't need any specifics. I'm gonna try drawing 9 cards and putting them in.
Could you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell
Make
me
a
what
deck
the
save.
9 cards are?
The
This might
first
be
9
important.
that are in the first 9, like drawing as if from a deck.
Then I will use my deck.
Randomized deck.
So the first
Yes,
9
use your deck. Go ahead.
are the 9 of spades, Queen of diamonds. Oh, look, another 9. The 9 of clubs, 8 of spades. There is the Jack of hearts. How many are we at? I lost count. Fuck.
5.
6.
5.
5? Okay.
I think it's 5.
I believe you're correct. You do draw a joker in here. there is the Joker that would have it's this one, that would have the Golden Retriever on it. Cards are getting all jumbled. These are so hard to work with.
Golden
The
Retriever was
6 of
red.
diamonds. Yes. The 4 of spades, and I believe that is it. Or sorry, that is not the 4, that is the ace of spades. I misread. So let's see. 1, 2. One more. So we get 8. And 5 of diamonds. As you draw those cards, in that order, the first 9. They begin to vibrate in your hand. And here's what I'll say. Nothing, it does not work. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th card, 5th, my bad, the Jack of Hearts. You feel it get warm to the touch. It's hard to say. Your detect magic would still be up here, right?
Probably.
It hasn't been long enough for it to go down because it's 10 minutes. Okay. It's like on the edge of it though.
Yeah.
This is so hard to describe without just giving you the answer. I'm trying to lead you in the direction. Disregard what I said about the Jack of Hearts, because that I feel would be leading you down an incorrect path. That is incorrect. I need you to make a dex save.
Alrighty. Uh, 15.
15. Okay. That does save. So you take half of. I'll give you the half number already. You take 7 slashing. As
Alrighty.
cards fly, slicing you on the way back into the deck. A good idea. And if you want another hint, I will give it to you.
I have
And
a
this
bad
one I will
idea.
give for free. Oh, bad idea. No, I want to hear this first.
it, it probably will not be correct, but I want to take the cards and I want to put down the 9s, but with a doggy on each side of them.
Okay.
I want to trap them within the doggies.
Okay. I want to make a note for you. Before you do this, and it's because I may have made an error earlier that led you down a path, and I want to correct that if possible. Because of something that was said earlier. Now, I'm not saying that's incorrect. We'll get to that in a minute. There was mention that putting them in a specific order, it was when Chiron was doing it. They seemed to like to be randomized, right? And I believe that was because of the solitaire, them reordering themselves. That was not due to them being in an order. That was due to solitaire being incorrect. Similar to how they are now, every time you get one wrong, then randomizing again. So I wanted to correct that in case that was a misconception. As for the 9s with the dogs on either side, do you still want to do so?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a dex save.
Yeah, I figured, but
Yeah.
it's worth trying.
It is an idea though, but just like jokers in a lot of games, extra points, or in this case, a little extra damage.
Oh, well, I got a 17, so
It passes, so you take half. And
yay.
I'll choose one of the numbers at random. Somebody roll a d4 for me.
Who's gonna hurt me?
I shall roll a d4.
Okay. This basically chooses out of the 4 dice I just rolled which one gets doubled.
Oh.
Because there's jokers
Oh, you got
involved.
crit.
4.
Actually, not the best one for you. Not the worst. That would have been 2. Alright, so let's see. This is already halved. 13.
Ooh,
Damn. Damn.
you're fine.
We gotta stop getting this wrong, chat.
I can give another hint if you would like. You've gotten multiple wrong in a row. I will give you a free hint if you would like.
Yeah.
Please.
Pretty please.
I want to make sure to word this correctly here. One of the first things done with these cards was pretty close to the right idea.
Oh,
I don't remember the timeline of events.
It was one of the first things, if not the first thing, that were done with these cards.
I played solitaire.
First thing we did was
Solitaire.
look at
Shuffle.
them.
It was
No.
not shuffled. They already shuffled themselves. That is not counted. The first thing you guys did with these cards was what?
Oh,
solitaire.
wait.
So the
Is
two
that
clues so
weird?
far, the two clues so far were that the idea of 9 lives was on the right track, and that the first thing that was done with them, which you've said was solitaire, was similar and close to the idea, but it wasn't exact. This is a tricky one,
mean-
but I'm
Okay. Do you
I
mean
think you got
something that we actively did with them, like the first thing we did, or the first thing they did?
you.
First thing we did.
Okay.
Yeah, the shuffling
Uh,
does not count. This leads us right up to break, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sit down near the dead guy.
We could
Okay.
try the first 9 cards.
Is there a game to play
Wait!
with 9 cards
Wait a
Wait,
minute.
hold on.
something?
So I think somebody just had an epiphany.
I have an awful,
Eureka.
so bad idea that questions my morality.
Okay.
Oh no.
You know the dead guy?
What about the dead guy?
Well, he's a kitty, right? Technically, kinda, could be, maybe.
He's not small.
No, but I'm gonna take him or a piece of him, now noticing he's twitchy, and walk over to the brazier.
You burn part of the tabaxi?
I'll, like, hold his butt over it.
Why is
Okay, so you
mean,
hold his butt over it.
He's-
Yeah, you can do that. Do you want to know what happens?
he's gonna eat me.
Not quite. So what happens is, let me grab a d20. So first off, his ass catches on fire.
Oh,
Second, you feel a hand, one hand, tightly grip under your armor, the other one over your shoulder under your arm, and refuses to let go. It isn't moving. It isn't attacking. It's just holding on tight as it begins to burn and
Okay,
spread
no, wait.
towards your face.
I would like to put it out. He's gonna
Make-
start running around.
Make an athletics check.
This Xavier set with a corpse set on fire, running around trying to put the fire out.
Make an athletics check. Yeah.
I can,
It's just
I can help try to
23.
take it off.
Okay, then
try to
roll,
help too.
roll with advantage.
He was 23. Yeah, it's still 23.
Then with a 23, you're able to get it off of you. It flops to the ground, and the fire immediately goes out. That was not correct.
Yeah, I realize that now. I'm gonna go put him back in his chair. I'm gonna go sit in the corner.
Okay.
I have no ideas. I'm out.
I'm not good with these things.
I will say there was a guess you made that that was incorrect. That if it had gone on longer before that guess, it was one of the first guesses, I probably would have given it to you. but it was like right at the beginning, and it wasn't right, so I was like, ah. But at this point, I gotta see where this goes. I will give one final hint, and this is one final hint here that I can think of. You have, at some point during this, burnt the first and last card at 2 different times. At 2 different times, during 2 different guesses, you burnt the first card in the sequence and the last card. So the 3 hints so far is that at some point you burnt the first card and you burnt the last card at a different point. Of course, that it is a sequence.
So it's probably the ace through 9 of one of the suits, but I don't know which suit.
I don't remember the order in which the cards were before they shuffled.
I can tell you. It was the diamonds, spades, hearts, and then clubs. So the order of color would have been red, black, red, black. And again, even if you think your character might not be smart enough, you can still guess, and we can, work around it. Because again, like was put in No Mic, even a character who's not smart can go, aha!
I guess maybe the first 9 of diamonds. I'll try.
Do you want to try that?
I'm gonna put them in and run away.
They fly out and chase you. Make a deck save.
Oh, he's definitely.
Does anyone want to take the? Does anyone want to take the hit?
I'll take the hit.
Or the force.
A lot of people said yes. So who's taking the hit? You take full damage. There is no save if you decide to take the brunt. Okay, you're taking it?
I'll take it.
Then you take, let me add up here, 19 slashing.
Cool.
Ow.
Okay. You rush in, you take the hit. Now, you don't have anything like, I don't remember if monks get this. You don't have like evasion or anything, do you? Is that later?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I was going to say, because even on a fail, which this would be considered, you would take half. That's why I was asking.
About the only thing I have right now is
level
deflect
7.
missiles.
Level 7? Okay. I don't remember monks. I never played a monk, except like a long time ago.
Well, you're boring.
It's on rogues too.
Yeah, I know rogues get it, yeah. That was not
Xavier's
correct.
Getting more and more afraid of cats. Fucking cats.
Come on, guys. You're so close. You can do this.
We sacrifice someone to the cards, clearly.
Do you want
We're not
to?
sacrificing the guy.
He's already dead. Sacrifice seedling. That's a cat. Seedling's there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
See, I love this. This is why DMs throw puzzles at their party, because it takes so long to do it. It's like, yeah, that's for time.
Yeah.
Chewing
Yeah,
popcorn.
it sure does.
I'm so curious. Come on. You guys are so close. You're dancing around the answer.
Trying to think
We don't-
what suit.
We don't know, man.
I don't know cards and I'm bad at puzzles.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm not familiar with cards.
that's
I'm
okay.
I know what cards are. I'm stumped. I'm not.
So,
I'm good at
Xavier
riddles. I'm
knows
not good at
cards.
puzzles.
as a point here
You know what?
for, because some people have said they're not good with cards, and there was mention of ace. In case you don't know, ace is a stand-in for 1. So,
Or 11,
idea-
or 14, depending.
yeah, but generally, because it comes before 2, most people will put it in the order of like ace, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And so the last thing that was tried was the ace. So 1, through 9 of diamonds, and that was incorrect. Anyone have any
What if it's
ideas?
of hearts?
Does Seth suggest that?
Sure.
What is it? Just...
Why specifically?
I'm gonna try
heart?
the same thing with hearts.
Do you want to try the same thing with Heart Sapling?
I'll do it if they don't want to.
Might
I can
as
take some
well.
damage.
Might as well.
Uh,
Someone has to help him because he can't count that.
I
I'll
will
do
help
it.
him pick out the 1 through 9 of
I
hearts.
I will do it.
Sapling will do it. We'll actually like put them in.
Yes.
If this doesn't work, I'm sacrificing Seedling.
So you go over.
No, if this
Wait.
doesn't work, I'm gonna ask his dumb ass if he has any ideas.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So you go over with the ace through 9. Ace, 2. Actually, I have them in order for this. Ace, gone. 2, gone. 3, 4, and the rest. And they all go into the brazier. And the door opens as the
Are you
body of the
fucking-
First
tabaxi,
try! Yeah!
as the body of the
What do you
tabaxi
mean?
immolates,
Oh.
as do the cards.
The heart! 9 lives!
Yeah, 9 of hearts. Yes, ace through 9 of hearts, because cats have 9 lives. You guys were dancing around the idea the whole time. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That was very entertaining for me. Thank you for entertaining me. So
So, I think there needs to be an agreement. We don't do any more puzzles because I
I like
think
puzzles.
we're dumb.
Who would
We're a
have
little
guessed
dumb,
that?
but that's the fun of it.
okay.
Do we get break?
It's break time. Let's go.
Yay!
Enjoy your break. You earned it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go get
And we're back. So, back to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So, back in it, the door opens. You guys are all still in the card room where you just were, but you see the door swing open. It's a large double door, about as large as the first one you'd walk through. And through it, you immediately see a room full of people. They are not standing. They are, many of them kneeling almost in reverence, many of which with their arms bound behind their backs, but not all of them. And they are all facing away from you, towards the creature that attacked you in the other room, the one of metal and bone that is standing at the head of it, facing you and facing the crowd. There is not a sound other than the murmuring of the people on the other side. And no one moves. What do you do?
I want my horse.
Do any of their backs look familiar?
I will
they-
say this for Sapling. You came here looking for people. Some of the patterns of fur do look similar. You see a couple that are like, okay, you remember somebody who had a similar shape on their back that looked like that. And you can easily tell apart the members of Woodland Riverfront Reeds from Boundless Mossy Wood, given what they're wearing. The members that appear to be of Boundless Mossy Wood both do not have their hands bound and also are wearing some form of armor, patchwork armor, or what have you, with a symbol of that tribe. Some of them even having augments of some kind. The members of the Woodland Riverfront Reeds, your people, are not wearing any of that and are wearing more traditional garb that you would have worn back at your tribe. And their hands are bound.
Oh.
But all of them are kind of
At a
interspersed.
quick-
It's, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
At a quick glance, because there isn't time to study, it's important to act quickly. At a quick glance, approximately how many homies are there?
Homies.
Just like a vague, like.
Do you move closer to the door and get a look from there, or are you looking from where you would have been in the center of the card room?
I will move to the door.
Moving to the door, but not through it. Again, still nobody moves. You see a good couple dozen. Now, that is a very quick glance, and they are interspersed among the Boundless Mossy Wood. It's not like every other person, but it's very random. So it's not like you could just fire a bunch of stuff at one side of the room, eliminate the enemy. They're kind of dispersed in between.
For your information, you two, the creature we've been following, it isn't undead in nature. It's more of a construct.
Someone made that thing.
Yes, we aren't sure how or why.
Is it those boundless ones?
Likely.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I have a shit chance of doing anything with it, but you said that it's familiar. Could I make a history check to figure out why?
Yeah, sure.
I have to find my history. It's bullshit. We'll see what happens. That's not a d20. 16.
As you look at the creature, think back to what it looked like up close. The arm that you got back from Dickman that you'd once given away. The design is so similar. That's what I can tell you. the design of this thing, it's not exactly the same. It's not like it could replace its arm, but it is almost identical.
I'll say as he remembers or realizes this, the spines on his back kind of frill out more so.
The the friends in there,
hmm
are they only bound like only their arms are bound,
Looking at some of the ones
or are
closest
they
to
like
you.
stuck?
Oh, sorry. Um, Looking at some of the ones closest to you, because you can get a better look at them specifically because you can see their whole bodies. It looks like it is specifically their arms, and you can see them breathing, so they are alive. Everyone in this room is breathing and alive, that you can see. They do not appear to be rooted in place, but they are not moving.
Okay. And how far are they
Um,
from the door?
the
I mean,
f-
I know they're in a ring, but like the closer ones.
um, I guess a better description here. Let me describe a little better. I'm sorry. Uh, think more like a
They're not
church
a ring.
in pews. There are no
Hmm.
chairs. There
Yeah,
are
I
no
don't know
pews.
why.
Oh, that's okay. But I think for those of us who may have been thinking whatever, it is there's a sort of space down the middle where somebody could walk, maybe two somebodies next to each other. But it is row upon row, and it starts maybe 5 feet from the door. The room is
Oh,
filled. You are muted, in Chiron.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
If this creature attacks, prioritize getting people out. It's a.
Yeah, who that? I'm gonna die again? Did I die? No, you're all
No.
moving. Okay.
no.
Still hear you.
I would like my horse. I'm gonna summon Demu.
Okay. Cool. So you summon the horse. You see the head of one of the boundless mossy wood people. Not friendlies, but the enemy. They begin to kind of turn as they can hear, as there is sort of a sound when this thing is summoned. Their head turns, and then a look of fear crosses their face. They start to
How
stand.
far away?
They're 20 feet.
Oh,
Nobody else moves, just this one figure moves. Do any of you do anything in that exact moment? If not, something happens.
Hold on. I think I have something. I'm not sure. I need to look up. Uh, okay. Yeah. Um. No, they don't have access to that. I had an idea. I'm gonna give a wizard. You can control the mages. You can just get up the wizard spell list, and they have up to level 3 spells. Because
Yeah.
I don't have my phone, so it's much harder for me to control them now.
That's fair.
I
Wizard
was
someone's
spelling.
gotta have
Yeah.
command,
I was doing the
right?
wizards earlier,
Yeah.
but now I don't have my phone, so I can't look up the wizard spell list on the fly except on my computer.
Let me ask. Is there anything with that knowledge that you have access to two wizards up to level 3 spells? As far as how many spell slots,
Three
I'm not giving you
wizards.
an exact number. Yeah, just
One of them has used haste, so
yeah,
you have you have about 5 level 3 spells left.
yeah.
So
What I was gonna say is I'm not
But
gonna.
just to
Five
be
level
clear,
Yes.
you're giving my darling mage
Uh huh.
access to two other mages alongside himself.
Correct. And what I was gonna say
Mhm.
is I'm being a little loose with the spell slots here. You don't have to like keep diligent track. Just be within reason, and it's up to level 3 spells.
Oh no. Okay, and
Have
the other
fun.
thing, this is one of the oogly boogly baddies, right?
This is not the mechanical thing, but this is, yes,
Yeah.
one of the boundless mossy wood tabaxis. They're turning, a look of fear on their face. Does anyone have anything they want to do as an action? If not, something is going to happen.
Yeah, do we care if he dies?
Please, please.
Nobody?
Ah, this,
As
no, not this.
if I think,
Pull through,
do I
wizard.
think things are going like I'm going to, as a bonus action, hit us with a mass healing word at the start of this, because we took some, pretty much everyone took some damage from traps.
Correct.
So I'm just gonna top. Who needs it? Who needs healing?
I got hit. Seth
I know
got hit.
Sapling, Seth.
Sapling got hit.
I need some.
Yeah,
I know
Sapling,
Sapling.
Seth, Savior, me.
I think it's just
And I
Karamis.
have-
That's good.
So that's 4, and
I'm
I
at full
guess
health.
2 of the people who were hurt in the fight.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, the earlier fight. So those are healed for. Ooh, not great, but not bad. 10 health.
Okay.
So I'm back up to full, which is nice.
Oh, Cody.
Sorry, I
No.
didn't hear how much. Ow, how much was it?
10, correct?
10.
How much health?
10 healing to
10.
everyone.
Okay, splendid. I am close to full.
I get it. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. To
I
the
am
people
full.
who need
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other actions?
I guess. You know what? I'll just do what I can. With because I don't think there's any components to this because it's not a spell, it's just a thing. With as straight a face as possible, or at least like I'm not doing anything. You know, I'm going to try to well not try, I can do this. I'm going to telepathically just try to be comforting. This is a god of some sort. Trust. Saying everything is okay. Just sit down. Just sit back down.
Fireball. No.
Do.
Do not fireball. There are civilians.
Do you believe what you're saying in this person's head? About it being okay?
No.
Make a deception check.
No, I'm lying. I know I'm lying. Please, 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 please. You're a charisma caster.
Yes, you are.
Okay, pause champ. That is going to be a 25.
With the 25, they do stop. And they were already half up. For reference, they were already half up when this happened. And they were starting to turn and make their way. That look of fear. And they kind of start to sit back down and ever so slightly turn their head up. And that's when you see as their head goes up, you watch their face start to shrink as it sinks inward, as their bones are eviscerated. And they simply just sink into a pile of skin. The blood starts pooling out.
I just made peace with death, and I helped him do that.
You know, I'm
This,
kind of glad that this cut out. I'm
Yeah?
glad I got the rest of. I'm glad I got the end of that because I don't want to know what else happened.
it's fine. Don't worry about it. It ain't the end. But
What do you mean that happened?
yeah. So this person, you did give them a moment of peace in their final moments. And that is a mercy you could give them. No one else in that room dare moves.
I don't want to give them mercy.
Not a single other person in that room dare moves. However, the figure at the front reaches a hand. And to call it a hand is strange because It's this sleek bit of metal that almost is reminiscent in sheen and color to the weapons some of the boundless mossy wood people were wielding. And it raises this thin arm, almost blade thin, with fingers that kind of stretch out the end, similarly thin and spindly and long, as they almost seem to just form out of the blade.
Mm.
And it beckons you forward. And you hear a voice. Yes, you hear a voice. Kind of a woman's voice, but tinny and metallic. And there's voices kind of underlaying it that says, "You will not be harmed. Come forward."
I don't. I'm gonna send the horse first. The horse. Not you, my horse.
Okay.
I know.
You haven't you might have heard me cast something, but you don't know what I quite casted until you hear the trot of a familiar, sound sapling. As a fire horse walks forward
Yeah.
Oh no.
into the room.
She's
Well,
like a fucking
okay.
canary.
It can make it through. This is, again, the space is wide enough for two people to walk side by side down this aisle. It is able to get to the front and nothing happens to it.
It's not been
I
turned
will,
to smush.
No.
pair up with the Seth to walk.
Oh, follow. I'm a big heavy metal man. I'll get in front, I guess. Oh, so my horse just went down there.
Okay.
I don't know how to
Follow.
feel about this.
There's a better horse.
Follow
There
the
is
I'm
not a better
debating
horse than Sapling.
Sapling is best
best one
horse.
alongside.
So everybody goes.
I'm debating in my head
Oh,
because we still have. I don't remember who exactly we have with us, but I know that my Kabiddy is here,
correct. And the
I'm
mages.
thinking to
Two
myself,
mages.
the mages are here. I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, would it be better if I told him to stay back so he's not in harm's way, or is it better if I can keep an eye on him and I bring him with me? So I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna walk by his side if the space is big enough for a normal sized person and a horse.
It's tight, but you can make it.
Oh, we don't care about that.
So you go. And each of you, one by one, you eventually, in the front, it kind of opens up into a larger semicircle around this person, this thing. So you kind of have to fan out once you get up there. And so you're kind of surrounding them in a bit of a semicircle. I would say 10 feet from them. And this creature, this thing, you can see now up close, between the metal is bone. White, clean, pristine bone. In places you can see cracks. And those of you that were fighting it remember in the skull when the head split open at the metal and ripped the bone in half. And then brought it together in the center where it again fused, still leaving a bit of a crack. Seth, you remember when it was punching you as you were grabbing its torso and its arms slid down its body. And you can see parts of a shoulder blade that looks just a little bit out of place. Kind of sticking up and out, where even you can see it from the front. And in this voice it again says, "Why have you come?"
Is it speaking out loud or in our brain cells?
It is speaking out loud, but it seems to almost reverberate against your skull.
Ugh. Why are we here? There are important people here.
This thing kind of looks around the room, looking this way and that, across the crowd of people who, again, do not move. You do hear slight murmurs behind you, though you can't among all of it. It's quiet and there's a lot of it. It's hard to really pick out any individual word. And then this creature raises a hand and it all stops. Important in what way?
In important when it comes to the more social and emotional values. None of y'all are special. You're special to
Is that why all of you are here? For emotional value?
I'm gonna go stand next to the mage I came up here with.
Likewise. Gonna move over.
Gotta get close to each other. Okay. This creature, at this point, its head kind of starts to turn to the left like it's surveying the crowd again, but it keeps turning, and you watch the metal on its face slide and cover the one skull, revealing another. Slightly different, cracked in places. Again, pristine white bone, not a flesh speck on it.
One of us lies, one of us tells the truth.
And a different voice speaks. A man's voice. Gruff. It says...
Oh shit.
that says... Then you're here for no reason. None of these people are important. None of their lives matter. So why do you care so much about people whose lives are worthless?
If they don't matter, why do you want them here?
I don't want them here. And it kind of very quickly switches to the woman. They simply are. They were brought to me. I did not bring them. I needed to feed. And some of them came, not for the same reasons, but much like you have, their own will. And the door in the back starts to close, and you can see as bits of liquid metal begin to push the door closed and form a latch across the handles.
Who's ready for a boss fight?
Is that familiar?
Sorry, what was that question?
Is that familiar or no? Liquid metal?
Surprisingly, no. None of this is familiar.
I
Okay.
would like, I suppose, hearing and turning to perhaps see fire a firebolt at that and try and prevent it.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
Fuck that metal.
Go ahead and roll a hit.
Roll the hit, yeah.
Where are you? Let's say 18 to.
It hits. However, it doesn't seem to have as much of an effect as you were hoping. It does have a slight effect, but it does not stop it. It seems to damage it a little, however.
Alright.
So
However, the
we'll be
figure-
able to break out of here after the boss battle.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
The figure
Blowtorch.
doesn't... The figure doesn't react, however. It doesn't immediately spring at one of you. It just kind of looks at you. Cocks its head a little bit. Why do you fight death?
Are you claiming to...
What?
Xavier said a few words. I say
Mhm.
said very loosely.
Ah,
Because
He
it's better
tried.
than
Gold star for effort.
Yeah.
it's better because it is better than accepting it.
this isn't logical.
This world isn't logical.
Its head kind of turns toward you. Then why not make it so?
Why not let it be what it wants to be? Without imposing
It's
your will or
impossible to
order
make it
onto
make
it.
sense.
As it is illogical, you are correct. But there are ways to fix that. We will fix that. We are almost done.
Not with the. And he'll gesture to the whatever. The emotionally important cats that Sapling vaguely mentioned.
Their
How are you
choice was
planning
made.
to fix it? To make it logical?
Would you like a demonstration?
No.
All right.
An explanation will do fine.
An explanation, then. Allow me to ask you a question. If you had a choice between living and dying, what would you choose?
Living.
Living. And what if your life would cause harm to others and cause their lives to be harder, but you were given that choice? Or if your life put others in danger?
Everyone's alive.
Internal struggle.
Uh,
That question.
and with
Everyone.
the... Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Karavnos?
It-
You were going to say something? Oh,
Oh, no,
you're
nothing.
struggling. Yes, yes.
I mean, I want to speak, but I have such a hard time doing Xavier's struggle.
Oh, I understand. It'll get easier with time. It's always hard to do things like that the first time.
Everyone's
Yeah,
life
sure is.
has issues to someone, no matter how you hide.
I understood that. That was pretty good.
I've been
And-
practicing my lip movements for it.
That's fair. The head kind of drops a bit. Just thinking. And then says, I believe, we believe, that life is sacred but not all. That there is some that are not necessary. And they're going to kind of raise their hand. Pick one. Or I will choose. And points to the crowd.
Oh, hell.
What's one of the bad guys?
I mean, you can see pretty easy. You want to pick one of the bad guys?
Picking
there
one
an
of the
older
bad guys a
looking
better
one?
option, but then we're playing into their ideology.
Yeah, we are. I'm gonna, if there's an older looking, he's lived his life.
Yeah, you can see one that's got like a
Why?
little bit of
Paladin,
white
by the
on the
way.
nose, a little bit of gray, so you can kind of, yeah.
I forgot that these
Why
are
should we
technically
pick
animal
one?
people.
Mm-hmm. What's up? There was some, what?
Why should we pick one?
Because if you don't, I will.
Why?
Are you trying to ask what the lesson is?
I don't get any of this. I don't fight death. I don't try to go against it. Sure, I enjoy the fight, but if it gets me, it gets me.
Then you are wiser than most. But why should it not be any different for everyone else here?
I don't think it should be. At least not like that. But I don't
They're
think they
going-
should die to something like you.
They're gonna turn their hand and point at you, Seth. Then do you sacrifice yourself and choose yourself for this? If that is your view.
What are you?
Make a persuasion check. By the way, for those of you that don't know, yeah, he doesn't
lovely.
currently. He currently cannot heal.
Unnat.
Answer my question first, and then maybe I'll tell you. Would you sacrifice yourself? Do you choose yourself?
Sorry, and Chiron.
No.
Is that a yes? Do any of you step in his place if he does choose?
You're a fucking monster now.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I,
Oh.
No.
I do.
Did I hear Xavier?
This isn't logical.
Yes.
Ah. Finger points toward Xavier. Then you.
This isn't logical.
I think it's more logical than saying you wouldn't.
Threatening us won't change us to your viewpoints. We might become somewhat subordinate out of fear, but it doesn't change minds. If you would just be civil and explain, maybe there would be a chance. But being vague and threatening to kill people kind of just paints you as a monster.
Make a persuasion check.
Give us a chance to understand through words.
Persuasion, did you say?
With advantage.
Yay! Come on, charisma caster. Oof. Hang on. I have to do a mild amount of math.
Your lick sound effect is always funny.
27.
You see the skull underneath kind of cracks a bit after you say that, as the metal kind of contorts and the body starts to kind of twitch ever so slightly. This is... And then there's silence. And then it begins to move again. And it looks to you and says, "You have given me much to think about."
Hmm.
And it kind of starts to look around the room. Which ones are you here for?
do if we tell you?
I will let you leave with them.
Gonna
We're here for
vibe.
those.
I'd like to vibe check that.
Insight. Go ahead. And I will roll for them.
I don't know what I'm not very wise. Let me check. Okay, no plus for that. With a natural 20, that is a total of 23 because I'm very mildly wise.
You can tell pretty easily because there is inflections to the voice. It is not entirely flat. And given the context, you get the idea that this thing is being truthful.
We are here for those who did not come willingly, as you put it.
Do you care for the others?
Henry says that because who knows how everyone ended up here. We want the ones. How do I put this? I'm trying to. I feel like I'm talking to a fucking fairy.
Like a genie or something, like
It's
a
like a
fae,
genie.
yeah.
You gotta be like very specific.
Right.
Yeah. I will say, when you said it like that, I immediately was like, okay. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. So word however you like.
I mean-
However you like.
Didn't you say that all of the ones that we're looking for do have their hands bound?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you?
It-
Pretty sure you did.
Oh, that was a question. Yes, that is
Yep.
correct.
That was a question.
Yes, all the ones that from your tribe had their hands bound
Okay.
that you saw.
We're here. We're here for those who have their hands bound. Those who are not of the boundless mossy wood.
And what of the others? What would you have me do?
Why do you do this? You're
Because
so
I
logical.
want to know.
What purpose does this serve to you?
Because otherwise they would stay right here. So I'm asking.
No. No, what? When you do whatever it is that you do to people, why? Are you eating them?
In a sense.
Do you have to do that to survive?
It kind of pauses and its head cocks. In a way that you would understand, yes.
So if you're willing to put forth the question of if your life matters if it hurts other people, and you're not afraid of death, why are you doing this? Wouldn't it be logical to take yourself out of the equation to spare more lives?
My continued existence is needed for the greater plan. I am an important key.
What plan?
I believe that is something I can't tell you. However, that one, pointing kind of towards Seth, asked a question that would lead you in that direction. I am forbidden from telling you what the plan is. I simply cannot.
Then can you answer my question?
Yes. But then I request you answer mine. What of the others? I will put it plainly, but simply. I am of this world. I traveled far, a long time ago. Or rather, we traveled far, a long time ago. An amount of time I'm not exactly sure of. There were many of us. We were fleeing something terrible. And the only way we could survive was becoming one, or rather becoming few. And we survived. And now we return. I am... How do I say it? The eyes kind of glance over all of you. Linger on one of you. Linger on the next. Reading each of you. Fuck, do I say it? Do I do the thing?
Do it. Do
This
it,
thing,
baby.
it can't lie.
You
It
bastard,
can't
now we're all
lie.
gonna die.
I am one of the last remnants of humanity.
Oh.
Oh, you're old.
I am the doctors. I am the morticians. I am all that oversaw death.
When?
Did you escape too?
The head kind of turns in your direction. We did escape. We were not the only ones, but we escaped.
So they're more like you.
A few. Were you aware that you only used to have one moon? We spent a long time building the second. Hey, so you all remember near the end of the last campaign when I said the second moon got a lot bigger and things shot off it?
What kind of
Oh,
Truman
no.
show?
Um, I'm going to say in English, because
Yeah.
I know that humanity never left. It transformed into, well, us, the people of this world. There is remnants of the past civilization. One particularly large remnant. I wouldn't recommend you visit. I think you. I don't know what you do.
There's kind of a pause. I'm aware there are some such places. One of us was there within the last few years. I believe he calls himself Richard. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. So now would you answer my question? What do you wish I do with the others?
Are you
Fuck.
hungry?
I do not get hungry in the traditional sense, but in the way I think you're referencing, I could eat.
Okay, I rolled a thing. I rolled a thing, okay?
Yes.
Seth's gonna look straight at this thing. Richard Hardy.
If that is what it calls itself now, yes.
Does that mean the doctor's one of you too?
He always was rash. Has he revealed himself already? That's a bit soon.
I only made guesses.
Then yes. We're not all here yet. But we are the three most important. And you start to hear sounds behind you, and you see some of the boundless mossy wood people just kind of slumping and shrinking down. None of your people are touched, but sort of one by one every few seconds. One of them drops, but none of them move.
What brings people here? You said they came here of their own free will. Why?
It's interesting. The first of them found this place and thought they would find treasures, that they would find weapons so that they could have more power, and kind of pointing towards some of the boundless mossy wood people. But then this one, and kind of taps the skull. This was the leader. They wanted me to help them in their cause. I told them I would. If they kept bringing people here. So they started taking people. Started bringing them here. However, most from that group, as the group kept growing, began to see me as somewhat of a god. And who am I to deny them?
Didn't you learn anything from the folly of the old world? Don't you see the mistakes? You're going to repeat the same ones.
You may see it as folly, but I wasn't the ones fighting on the front lines. If I remember correctly, we were eating our steaks in our high towers, watching the disaster unfold below us. And when it grew too close, we left. I don't see it as folly, I see it as business. War is business.
Xavier's just gonna horse and over to the back door
Uh-huh.
because I don't know. I'm not old enough. I don't know any of the plot.
None of it
What the
makes
hell
sense.
is happening? The people want to leave. Yeah, the people leave. Come on, the door's this way.
You move over to the door, and that bit of metal just dissolves. The door doesn't open,
gonna-
but yeah.
I'm just gonna whistle, and anyone in the tabaxis that are maybe bound is just like, this way. We're leaving. Last I checked.
At first, none of them move until the voice of the woman speaks out. Those of you bound may leave. And one by one, they begin to stand and leave. But
Okay,
they
if they
only
would
do
like
so
to
when she
form a-
says.
If they like to form an orderly line, I'll unbound them.
Okay. As you do so, and it's like, this way, and you start unbinding them on the way by.
Yeah,
They start
horse
heading
is
out.
like helping me out as well. It's like I'm just gonna
The
be a
horse is
paladin
helping?
doing. Yeah, my horse is stood next to me, like helping those who might be a bit
Yeah.
too young or a bit too old. I don't know what's happening here, so I'm gonna do my usual duties.
I mean, it's a sentient horse. Sure, the horse can help. So you just start. Listen, that's a great spell. I love that spell. Fine steed.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, By the way,
I'm
yes,
gonna
the
do
bad
that
guy
while
is
y'all
capitalism
having
again.
What
Yeah.
happens if we leave? What are you gonna do at this point?
What I did in the beginning. I won't have these people to do it with me. So I suppose I'll find other ways. Although, it's not quite time yet, but I suppose I'll just wait. Wait till they're ready.
When you have to.
Fuck.
Ah, medicine time! Alright, so,
Just like
where
passing this
were
one.
we? I didn't know we had a bard here, what the hell?
When you have to, let's say, feed to not overcomplicate things, do you still just caught up on your questions about morality? Do you pick and choose? Do you look for lives that don't have value, or is it just indiscriminate?
A fair question. One I didn't really consider. But I suppose, when I'm choosing, I do try to choose one that is more afraid. Sorry, I heard that fucking sound. Fucking killed me. I was like, well, afraid. Just...
Just
For
took psychic
example,
damage.
For example, the one that turned to run when you alerted him you were here. He thought he was saved. You gave him hope. That was almost more delicious. Death is a beautiful thing, you know.
Can be when the time comes.
I could really go in, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna torment you guys like that. I'm sorry. I could really go in, but I'm not gonna.
What the fuck do you mean?
Do you want me to?
Go ahead, Val. Monologue
As long
for
as we don't
us.
die.
Sure.
Do what you won't.
Enemy monologues are fun. It's like a funeral.
Oh, no.
That's a way to open. It's like a funeral. Somebody dies, and everyone else looks in sadness. All of them sad and thinking of their own mortality. And then when you come for one of them next, it's all the more tantalizing. When they die, they were already thinking of it, already fearing it. But then they get good news. There is hope. There is happiness, which makes the crash down to sadness and death that much more exquisite.
Interesting way of thinking.
Thank you.
Not everyone is sad about death.
Those are disappointing, but understandable. Do you have any further questions? By now, most of the Boundless Mussy would have dropped, and the Woodland Riverfront Reeds people are, for the most part, out. There's like a couple more.
And all the other captives.
Yeah.
I have one last question, and
Yes.
I'm giving my tongue a workout trying to speak like he does.
I know.
Do you have a name?
Syl, which is spelled C-Y-L. Syl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, C-Y-L, Y as in yellow is correct.
Yep.
I was like, wait, which one of us heard it
I saw you
wrong?
say wait, and I was like, nope, that's right. Yeah, over the microphone it's kind of hard to hear, but yeah. Syl.
I've got one.
Yes.
Do you know where he is? The
Who?
doctor.
No.
Inciting that.
Okay.
I don't think it lies.
He's still inciting it.
Yeah, fair. Don't
I
trust
mean,
it, that's
fair.
fair.
I would too.
A really
27.
stupid thing I want to do with it.
Okay. Say again, what was it? 27?
27.
Far as you can tell, not lying. It seems to be true that this thing just does not fucking lie, or at least it hasn't so far.
It doesn't tend to.
At least not on purpose.
You can't just say that.
No. So I'm saying that for one reason, and it's because DM can sometimes accidentally contradict, and so I'm like, not on purpose. It doesn't lie on purpose.
it's so
It's
true.
just me.
So true.
It's all part of the grand plan.
Yeah. No, that's happened before where I've contradicted, but it comes around later, and it's like, actually, that made sense. Haha. Totally a plan. Anyone else?
I'm going to leave.
Valid.
It's just me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go with the
questions.
cats.
I'm gonna take my
Yes.
cat and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just, after unbounding everyone and everyone's in the other room, I'm just gonna be like, do you magic?
Magic is not something I am specialized in.
How do you... And then he'll gesture to the pile of mushies.
You see the hand kind of form into a flat surface. Not quite a blade, but more so it almost looks kind of like a spatula, like a flat spatula.
Ew.
And you see a tiny bit of movement on it. Nanites.
Oh.
And you watch one of the last boundless mossy wood people start to slowly crumple. They eat them from the inside out.
Huh. You just like bones.
It has the most nutrients. The marrow is packed.
If you put those inside us.
Put the marrow inside of you?
Yeah, that. It does tiny gesture with, fingers.
Probably wouldn't like to.
Eh.
You would not like it.
I'm asking if you have.
Oh, if I have. No.
Fine.
How many of you are there?
3 here currently. More on the way.
Is my wizard still stuck in the room? Do I have to come grab him? Is he having
I don't
PTSD?
know.
Yeah, I think he's having PTSD. I'm gonna walk over and
Yeah.
just pick him up. I'm just gonna. Come on, old peepaw. It's all right. Your prune juice is this way.
He's just like stock still. You just pick him up. And just like,
Yep, just
I can
relocate
walk. I
or
can walk. I can walk.
put you down and gesture to the door.
Okay. So, seems like
You're
most
not
people
the
are
only
leaving.
ones who remember what it was like.
Saying it to this thing as you go.
Hmm.
I feel
There are others more eager to finish what was started long before. Don't make
They-
those same mistakes.
I don't intend to. They wouldn't get so lucky this time.
Did you just make war with the nanite thing?
Uh,
Uh,
Yeah, let's go.
let's go. Yeah, time to leave. Okay.
How many barrels of black powder do we have?
Yeah, I was
Six.
literally just thinking the same thing. Like, what's the biggest fire that I could cause?
Yeah, how?
There are 6 in the basement above you. So, you want to?
We're gonna get everyone out first, and then we're gonna try to blow up the place.
I love that you're suggesting that, specifically your character. Being like, that's pretty great. Okay. That is easy enough. By the time you all get up there, Gravnos and Xavier, you'd been upstairs more recently than everyone else, so you'd seen things were getting cleaned up while you were there. You even helped with it. By now, it's taken care of, and you have basically Olakas and the rest of the people that were up there are kind of just waiting for you guys in the atrium. Just kind of look at you, who are all a little beat up and are just like, happened to you?
Seth's going to cling to Olakas. Not a word.
Okay.
I'm fighting with my
Moon's
horse to get him
haunted.
up the stairs.
Moon's haunted. Yeah.
The moon's haunted.
I have
Always.
to.
Yeah, Moon's haunted.
My moon's
Do
not
we
my
have any more
girlfriend. My moon's
casualties?
just the ghost.
We're going to try to destroy this place. We should all leave.
Most of them just kind of nod and are like, all right, and they start heading out. You do see most of the Woodland Riverfront Reeds people are just, their eyes are vacant. Most of them. They're just kind of staring.
Yeah, I'm gonna single file outside, away. Come on, church duties. Come on, I
Yeah.
gotta preserve lives somehow, and that thing's gonna eat me someday.
Death comes for everyone. So yeah, I mean, it just leads out. Most of the people get out pretty quickly. Some of them you have to kind of go back and are like, hey, come on, because they're falling behind. But eventually everyone gets out. You guys head back down and put the powder barrels down?
I'm staying outside.
Yeah.
You're staying
I
outside?
can't be part of this. I already
Okay.
set someone's body on fire.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, just around the place with a little like trail
Okay.
between
Gonna help
them.
with this.
Help with this? Okay. I'll say
Yeah, you have
between...
experience.
Yeah. I'll say between those of you that do, you're able to get this set up and have like a little trail. The archer guy kind of is like, do you want me to hit it from a distance? You guys get back, or
Yes, that would be great.
he picks up the... Oh, yes.
Just before we nuke the building.
Yeah.
Are those guns that the other people had? They still there?
The archer guy has one, and a couple of the people that were with you actively have a couple.
Okay, as long as they have guns, that's fine.
Yeah. They have, I'll say there are 3 that are currently in your group. And that's actually what the archer guy uses to hit the thing. He has mitts on this time, like big thick mitts, because the thing gets hot. And he just picks it up. I love this fucking thing. And it hits the barrel. Boom, 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 and it just continues out through the building. Sounds of explosions, and then it just detonates. Like there was a larger stash somewhere that you didn't see. It just blows. You kind of have to duck as a door goes right past you. In fact, can I have everyone make a dex save?
Fucking damn it!
Oh,
Oh god, that's not good. Of course, oh, fucking damn it.
Oh my
Hey.
gosh, that's really not good.
oh no.
Hey Val.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
You remember the one shot thing we did and how the horse saved me? I saved my horse this time.
Oh,
I got a
nice.
3. My horse got a
Um,
19.
Oh my god.
This is a natural 1 for a total of 2. For a
Wow.
total of 3.
I'm
Sorry.
getting smacked
got
with
a
that
15.
door.
I got a 15.
Uh-huh.
Am I at all able to kind of cover in Chiron?
I would say no, unless you sacrifice yours. You would have to take the damage to do so.
Okay,
You want to do that?
done it before.
Okay. Okay, so then anyone
Damn.
who got below a 12
Ah.
or chose to fail. So in Chiron, you're safe because you were protected. But if you got below a 12 or sacrificed yourself, then you will take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, getting hit by the door or other material.
It's just
If
clang.
you succeeded or were saved, you take 0. So who gets hit by the door? I'll say it's Xavier. You're the big bulky one. I'll say you get hit by the actual door. What happens is
I
you're
turn
just
after helping
yeah.
everyone, and that door.
Well, yeah, literally, you like help everyone. The explosion, boom, and then there's a second that goes by, and it just like you and the door
Yeah.
just get fucking flung. There's like
Yeah, loud metal sound effect as he gets yeeted with his door.
yeah, but you know what? The armor holds
Does
up.
he know
It's
about the
Metal
DORE?
pipe sound effects.
The door.
yeah. The armor holds up. There's no dents or anything because it is good quality armor, but
Hey Val.
that hurt.
Knock knock. Who's there? The door.
Literally. At that point, you can see some people were already starting to gather with the large group of people that are out there. At this point, there's a decent number of people surrounding your group and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. This town doesn't really have a guard presence as much as just a bunch of gangs that act as guards. So they're kind of they're both trying to keep the peace, but also glaring at each other because it's like rival gangs all trying to keep the peace
Oh.
together. However, they are prioritizing keeping the people safe and not fighting each other. Seth, you have a really high passive perception. So I will say something you notice immediately. Oh shit, your parents live here. They're right there. Oh shit, Leotris. He was coming here.
You're muted, Callie.
Talking to somebody out there, yeah. Looking above the, yeah. I could tell.
Well, sometimes Callie doesn't look straight at the camera, so I was unsure.
Yeah, true.
Probably doesn't look straight.
I mean,
jeez.
Seth's gonna kind of slowly move away from Olakas. Walk over to his family and Leotris. I just got asked a question. That's
Oh,
probably
God.
a Val question. Please
Wasn't me.
ask the DM.
What? Wait. Wait. I don't know what this is referring to. But sure.
Just shove it in your chat or something,
Uh-huh.
please. I do not know the
Okay.
answer.
Xavier is staying on the ground with the
Yeah.
door. I will say there are a couple of the Woodland Riverfront breeds people, the people you'd help lead out, some of the ones that are a little better off, that kind of come over and lift the door. It's a heavy fucking door, and get it off of you and are like, "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
Thank you for that. As
Ooh.
as we get up and I see that my boy is over with those people, Chiron is going to rush over there to be
Mm-hmm.
emotional support.
They need
That's
it.
my boy. Father, help!
Well, he's not
Um,
father helping yet. Yet.
My horse just like hoofs in my face. It's like, that's familiar.
Hmm.
um, yeah. At this point, some of the guard-like people are kind of looking at this group and kind of looking at literally any of you and are just like, "What happened?"
The boundless mossy wood isn't going to be here anymore.
They kind of look between each other, all these rival gangs looking at each other, looking at you, and you did that.
Yep.
They helped some. Them they didn't. Yeah.
The one guy that kind of looks like he's a little more in charge of one of the groups kind of steps forward and is like, "Would have preferred you didn't blow up the building. We could have used that, but they were kind of a pain in our ass, and people did start going missing after they came into town, so thanks, I
I think
guess."
you would prefer the building gone. Pest problem.
Lot of rats.
Ah, fuck it then. Thirsty? Hungry?
When that
I
is
just-
said, I'm gonna look between the people, these stolen kitties, because they're probably thirsty and hungry.
Many of them are kind of like subtly nodding or murmuring, like, yes.
Should we have a? We can have a meal before we get back to our place.
This guy kind of just motions to everybody. He's like, "All right, down to the square. We're having a feast." And some people groan because of all the work they have to do to like prep food, and then some of them are like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, booze." and so people start rushing around from this crowd, and at this point they're just like, any chance to throw a celebration they'll take, even something like this. They're like, fuck it. And getting rid of a group they already didn't like, sure. um and so they're basically like, all right, come on. And
Seth's gonna look at his family. Are you guys gonna go?
your father kind of looks at you. He's like, probably, yes. What are you doing here? We didn't expect to see you. What
Didn't
happened
expect
to
see
you?
you either.
We
Uh,
live here.
I forgot that.
Fair. What happened? I'd like to talk to you about that at some point. And your mother kind of leans in and is like, oh, it'll be all right. I'm sure it's fine. Uh, you're doing fine, right? Looking to you.
Sure. Great.
Well, that's good to hear. Look, Kane, it's your brother. And Kane kind of comes forward, and it's just like, hey, I drew these, and like pulls out a few pieces of paper with like slightly better sketches than the last time you saw. He kind of looks at him, looks at you. I might have to redraw them though.
You might have to do that a lot. I change a lot.
That's okay.
But hey, you've gotten better.
Kind of looks at it. Looks back toward his parents. We should go eat. I'm hungry. And parents are kind of just like, we hope to see you there.
You will. I'll be there.
As they're walking away, your mother kind of turns around and looks and says, I'm sure there'll be some fish.
Oh.
Nope.
And Karen, be peepaw.
He's
Peepaw
going
harder.
to mumble something to himself that she won't hear, but in Chiron standing right next to him and probably will. Not the only thing that smells like it.
Damn. Damn.
She lights on fire instantly from that burn. No, she does not. But that was great.
Hey, on the bright side, at least it runs in the family.
I'd say one of them's by choice, but I don't know how that works exactly, so...
Ah, don't worry. Still runs in the family whether you choose it or not.
Oh, God.
Hey. Let's go eat, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I'm
Party.
pretty good at.
I'm going
pretty
to
good at.
say to the mages, you can probably stay with us for now. We're going to go to our place after this. We've paid you already. You can go. I say to the archer.
He's like, can I keep this?
You found it, so.
No.
Like, yeah. About to become
no.
the single most dangerous mercenary ever.
Ever.
He's gonna come back.
We have to meet him again.
Here's the best thing. He never had a name. You never learned his name.
Oh,
No.
God.
Oh hell.
He's just that guy we know.
Yeah, he's
Before
literally
we
just gonna
go,
start
I must
walking away.
know
It's
your
like, see you people, I also don't think I know your name.
He's gonna come back at the end. Deus ex machina.
Uh-huh.
And change the tide.
Hey, Chiron?
Yeah.
How did. Yes?
And he's not... Again, doesn't speak. But he does get your attention, waves, places a hand on your shoulder. And he'll take off the helmet.
I'm gonna
And
do.
you might recognize him. He's a bit older now.
Oh,
Gonna do a little history check.
oh.
For this. It's gotta be a low DC. Oh, yep, I definitely remember. Oh, I'm gonna reach up, and I'm gonna, like, kind of, like, affectionately grab your nose. You've certainly grown up. It looks like you've gotten a job. It was Xavier, yes.
I mean, he was red, and now he's getting redder because he's just so flustered. Mm-hmm. I like you.
Yes. Well, this is my group. This is Sapling, and this is Seth. Are you going to be sticking around with us?
And I'm sorry, Harley. I know we discussed this before, but I mean it. My horse is going to start sniffing you, very confused.
You're confused. I'm fucking confused. Like, get away from this creature.
It
Like,
follows you. Then I look at Seth, who you seem to have adopted, and then I'll turn to look at my friend over there. I wasn't minding the food. You also kind of smacked me with the door.
Oh, which person are you looking at?
He looked at he's looking back at Kyrie when he says, "You also smacked me with the door."
Oh,
That was the house, not me. But,
You're right here.
well, if you want to stay, I'm sure we'd be glad to have you around. Gonna reach up and like tousle his hair a bit.
No, his
before
perfectly
we
groomed
go.
hair. No, he's so scruffy now. It takes forever. He'll
Seth
go over.
is sitting there staring daggers. Someone else is getting Peepaw attention, and he doesn't know how to feel about that.
He pays no mind at you, little creepy fish thing, and walk over to his other peepaw. Put a hand on his shoulder.
Snaps him out. He's been watching Leotris the entire time.
You coming?
Yeah. Yeah, I can. It's not much other place to go. We did all right.
Come on, then.
Nod. And quick march over.
Oh, by the way, Seth, you know how you're staring daggers at it in Xavier?
Mm-hmm.
There's a warm feeling behind you.
Okay.
There's Sapling's being left alone just for the fact that you have given my horse the aura that you don't like her owner. And she'll hoof down you.
I'm
I don't know what
free.
that means.
Like,
I have
She
no idea
doesn't
what you
look.
just said.
My horse is huffing down at you because you gave her the impression that you don't like her owner. How dare you? Everyone likes him.
He just kind of looks up.
She snorted.
She sniffed.
Fuck off.
rushed away.
He's gonna start following where his family went.
My horse will just
Okay.
keep harassing Sapling. For the rest of the future, you are not safe. You will get over this fear.
It's not fear, it's just weird.
Racism. It's racism.
Oh, jeez.
That's an animal! Anyway.
You're
Huh? That's
She's not
racist!
She's not even an animal. She's a fucking horse. Oh, that's on fire. Come from depths hell.
Close enough.
A horse is an animal!
So you're a horse.
I'm a centaur. Actually, I'm a worm. Actually, I'm not a worm. I don't know why we call it that.
That's what we
Worm
do.
is more of an animal.
Semantics. Damn, I am an animal. I'm a bug. I actually am an animal. Anyway, semantics aside, everyone's going to eat. I'm pretty good at carrying things and people. I'm gonna grab some people, probably 3, that are kitties that are, doing not as well off. Like if they're injured or old or just dying inside. I'm gonna take some.
I will say this for you. There aren't really any that are injured. It actually doesn't seem like there was any real torture or anything like that, but there are plenty that are tired and are just struggling. So yeah, you're able to find a few that are in need, but definitely possibly surprisingly, no actual wounds is a thing of note.
That is
Other
surprising.
than
glad.
like rope burn possibly, but that would just be from being bound for so long. As you walk though, they some of them kind of look at you and are like, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
They just are kind of almost doing that thing where they're just like trying to stay, like even the ones you're not actively like going after, a lot of them are just kind of sticking around you like you're this beacon. You're this tall beacon of just hope among what just happened.
I was happy for a second, and then the horror set in that I'm still we're malicious. And this is weird. These people like me.
Ew.
We're malicious.
I hate that word.
I'll walk a bit slower for them. They're tired.
Amazing. We're malicious.
Everyone hated that.
No, I love that. That is so funny.
Uh,
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I need to move on. um so Karevnos,
Mhm.
as you walk, you'd been looking at somebody, and
Mhm.
they've been kind of walking a little bit. Leotris, he'd been looking and at you a little bit, kind of glanced at you, glanced at your group, looked among everybody, and then all of a sudden he just breaks away from Seth and who you found to be his family, and immediately goes straight for you.
Go straight for him.
Goes straight for Karavnos.
and they stop making out aggressively.
Oh.
No,
No.
no. But this clearly older, elven man comes up to you and then just continues walking with you, but alongside you. And Xavier, are you still right there, or did you say you were kind of around Sapling? What was that?
No, the horse is around Sapling. Sapling
Horse
will
is
not
around
escape
Sapling.
the horse.
Okay.
I'm near my old man who seems to be weirdly interested in people. That's odd. I'm scared.
Okay.
What's going on here?
Does kind of this man kind of looks at you, Xavier, and says, "I'm so sorry. Could I get a word with your friend here just for a moment? Old friends, actually. I'd love to catch up."
Look at Kravnos.
Well, just recently he fought beside me as well. I fought alongside him recently.
He'll pat your back, and he has no friends, so he will be at the back. Even his horse is away from him, so he's just gonna be alone. I guess. Yeah, he doesn't. It's fine.
He was
We're hanging
talking
with your
to
people, bro.
I should say
Uh-huh.
he was talking to Leotris, that Xavier, and
Yeah, I know. But this is your old friend. This is your old
Kravnos
friend that is
together.
exactly like you, and I'm a child compared to you lot. So I'm just gonna. I got a letter to go write. I'll be over here.
All right.
There's a moment where he doesn't say anything, and he seems to be thinking. But he looks at you and he says, "How have you been?"
It's been rough, my Thor.
It has. And please, drop the formalities. I appreciate the respect, but it's not necessary. Not anymore.
How? How did you make it? Everything was just burning.
It was. I probably survived similarly to you. But I was here. I was a place called Kingsport. Place that's gone now.
It's the one where the legacy of the old world touched. Yes.
Yes. Yes. What do you do nowadays? Do you travel blowing up buildings everywhere you go?
No, I haven't. I haven't fought in a long while. But this was just right. These people needed help, and I guess I know what I did, and I wanted to do something different.
It's
What
interesting
about
going.
you?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's interesting. I go from a shopkeep to a wanderer after a life of teaching others how to deal death. I
How do you
sold
manage it?
how to change. I don't know. I think I just had to find a reason after all of the. When there is no war to fight, I had to find another reason. And I had some strange items from previous lives that some people wanted to buy. That turned into a business, and I settled until these people came into my shop. And
Fair enough.
for reasons that I won't quite get into, I was drawn to follow them. So, do you plan to continue that war, or are you going to leave it behind?
There was something down there from it. I don't. I don't know.
He seems
It
genuinely a
still
little
lingers.
surprised. Something from
But
before.
I don't. Yeah. Some of their brighter minds.
Is that why you... And kind of makes like a hand exploding motion.
Well, I wasn't the one who suggested it, but it seemed to be an effective way of dealing with it. I don't see it motions over to anything. There's no movement. It's not like it rose up or did anything or got away that we can see.
Fair enough. Well, perhaps we'll have time to reminisce, but for now, I best get back with the group I was here to see.
Mhm.
And walks over back towards
Keep on
Seth.
staying alive.
Oh. And Kenna, as is walking, hears that and nods back. Same to you. Like that old
Nod.
song used to say.
Salute. and go rejoin and find the one other person that I really know kind of well. Well, I say well, but
Mhm.
more familiar with. Find Xavier.
Bro's like the nerd with like a bunch of the popular kids. He's just in the corner writing on some paper with a quill.
While you walk.
You know that one. Kind of
Hmm?
like. Isn't Chiron still visible? Or
He's
I
bright
mean,
purple.
you
We're
guys,
around.
yeah, you guys. I mean, as of right now, you're still walking like toward the little square area of the town, but I would say about this point, you guys get there. But yeah, you can see each other.
uh, sorry.
Dude is the man behind the slaughter.
No. I motion towards like and Chiron, still looking at Xavier like, oh, you know him.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
When I was little, he helped me with the... And he'll gesture to the scarring.
Nod. In the way like you don't need to say anymore. It's alright.
I'm just confused why he's here, though.
Oh. Seems like a
Well,
good sort.
he is. I'm just... He's part of a group that I was made aware of
Hmm.
that I'm not sure how to feel about.
DM question.
Yes.
How renowned might a certain name be? The well thought out and brilliant name of this party that exists.
Um, honestly, by name, not super widespread actually. And I think that works
Okay.
given that the name is super thought out and everything. The name is not super
Yeah, yeah.
widespread, but whispers of a group like this have actually started to float around the area. Because a lot of times the party doesn't go around, we're the this. It's
Yeah.
just they go around doing stuff. And so they are just a group that has been talked about.
Because we came from where is it, Norfolk?
Yes.
When we came down here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you would have heard about a group like that passing through, burning down a building, and then leaving.
Sounds
We did
familiar.
not burn down
Here,
the
there's another
building.
building that blew up.
That one was us.
The party name is just
building-
blew up.
The
Yeah.
building destroyers. No.
Demolitions.
The demo man.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'll look back to Xavier. I don't really have anywhere else I need to be. This was kind of the main thing I wanted to help get done. Yeah. I'll stick with you, if it's alright.
He seems very distressed as he comes to sort of realization. Staring off into this group. I swear to motherfucking God, no one cares about your opinion. Get down!
I heard the dog.
Yeah.
Where was I? Distressed about looking about this party, and then we'll look at you and be like, okay, okay, if you want to.
Yeah.
You should go mingle with Kyron. He might help you. Yes, he helped me.
Alright. But better see you when we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss mess. I'll go and try to find in Chiron.
Well, I am probably seated a little bit with Seth because he needs emotional support a little bit because his family's here. And I've gotten a small plate, and if it's available, I would have gotten some tea because that was a lot. I need some.
Not great, but it's available.
It's not great.
Mm.
I'll probably have a better glass of tea when we get back to Valve, but
That's fair. The food
I have
here is
good
very
stuff
like
there.
the food here is very much like random like food carts on the side of the road gathered their food together. Like there's some okay tea and coffee. It's not super great. The drinks are usually are mostly booze and some slightly muddied water. This town ain't made of money.
I'm genuinely just take some food, just so he Krabno sees and go sit under a tree.
Hmm.
I gotta write 2 letters, I realize.
So, I will say we are approaching end of session for tonight. We are getting close. So, but next session I will say is going to be a lot of like RP and stuff. So, certain things like you mentioned there, letters and things, I want to hear about those, but I want to save those for next session so I don't have to cut them short. Because I
That's
want
fine.
to give you time for it. But what I will say is this. Slightly before you all fully disperse, one of the people from one of these gangs kind of gathers you all together and says, excuse me, I had a question. Me and the boys were kind of wondering, obviously there are more of you than what we'd heard about, but are you the torchbearers? We've been hearing about a group that matches your description, and some people came up with a name. Don't know if that's what you call yourselves, but nobody knew, so.
If it works, I suppose.
I mean, there's a centaur. There's... What? I'm guessing you're the Triton, pointing to Seth. And kind of like points out some of the members of the group. You're the old man, pointing toward Chiron. I don't know these two. But, I don't know. Were you the ones that burnt down the place in Norfolk?
Not exactly.
Yes, they were.
And the people that basically won a case against the church up in Bermsley?
Yes, that was us.
I mean, that's pretty big news. Word's been spreading, so... I mean... Can we take a photo?
I suppose we have borne some...
I'm going to... I mean it. I'm going over there. I'm going to go over there.
Yes,
Straight.
we can
Over there.
take-
Immediately.
You're leaving? Okay.
Yeah,
We
nope,
can
I can't.
take a photo together, I suppose.
Oh my god, hold on, I need to type something. I'm gonna send it in a chat. Not that you guys can see. Hold on. Give me a sec and then I will continue. I had an idea for a thing. I need to have this done by next session.
God fucking damn it.
So, dude pulls out a camera and says, "All right, strike a pose." And it's like this big, bulky, like Wild West era camera that probably should be on a tripod. It's like strike a pose.
Are we all able to be gotten in this picture? Did we sit together?
He kind of gathered everybody. This is like he gathered everybody for this. And he kind of steps way the hell back because you're tall as hell. It's like, yeah, and it takes like a rough it's a really rough picture, and honestly the sun setting behind you looks great, probably doesn't capture great detail in the image. Like it's probably mostly silhouetted, but yeah, but that's the thing. And then you guys all gather food and everything, and then we'll pick up there with all of the conversations that can be had and all of that next session.
I'm scared.
I was trying to wrap together. But for streams, oh yeah, go ahead.
Thank you for naming us. Thank you.
Yeah, listen, it's fine. For stream's sake, good night. Hope you enjoyed. More stuff coming, and of course the session next week, unless something crazy happens. Hopefully not.
Hopefully.